also mute yourself? So.
Mm.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cosmic Starseed Academy. And these are the Pleiadian Sunday groups. Today's date is the 22nd of March, 2026. And it is 7:26 p.m. here in Ireland. That's very interesting because with the times, because I did that yesterday, I think it was, and it was 7:19. So, and I did it on the 19th, I'll guess. But anyway, so it's the 22nd of March here, 2026, and it's 7:26 p.m. here in Ireland. Lots of things to share with you, lots of announcements. So if you are, I am redoing my website at the moment, and I'm redoing it with a company that offers you a lot of things. And one of the things they offer you is ability to set up groups. So I've done that today, and it's very new. It will be a process to um, kind of get it up and running, but it's you can join it now, and that will, in the beginning, that will be for people who have subscribed on Substack, whether they're free or paid, for you to join. Oh, I just need to catch my breath. I will be doing an event in Cork, in Blarney. I haven't set an exact date yet, but you can email me if you'd like to attend that, either in person or I'm wanting to live stream it. So if you'd like to watch the live stream, that's going to be a very sacred event. So if you're interested in either attending that in person, if that's something that you're able to do, if you're in the proximity, or if you want to watch it online, then please do email me at the Pleiadianchild@hotmail.com, or you can visit my website, somaara.love. And the energies at the moment are just really off the scale. And we as starseeds, part of our reason we're here this lifetime is really to anchor in the higher dimensional galactic cosmic energies into the earth, which will run through beneath our feet. When we anchor that energy in, it runs through like a system of branches, and it helps to assist humanity in that way as well. It's an energy. mm, it's an energy that runs through like lightning or tree branches beneath the earth. So it's not a stagnant energy. It travels through the below the surface of, thank you, below the surface of the earth. So I'm really wanting to just start the channeling. So I'm going to ask my beloved to begin with the prayers.
Very good. And you can hear me?
No, we cannot hear you at all.
Well, that's just fine. All right. So I will begin with a simple prayer that has the name of the Law of One prayer. Law of One prayer. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am one with all there
Oh.
is. I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. And I'll say it two more times. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, with Mother, Father, God, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. And a short I am mantra. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you very much for the prayers and your presence. We come in this evening with upliftment, but it's more than that. We come in with the sun energy. We come in with childlike playfulness, energy, lightheartedness. Silliness is the wrong word, but joy and playful and laughter and memories of laughter and echoes that many of you have forgotten how to step into joy and laughter and fun. And so we come in always with different energies every time we step in. Thank you, because we want to share those energies with you. We feel your energies collectively and individually, and we feel your energies in this group individually. When we say we are referring to us, the Pleiadian collective, and Ashtar commander-in-chief, who is our spokesperson. But this evening we are joined with the Lyran beings and some of Soma's guides. We are also joined by Jesus and Mary Magdalene and their children, we'd like to add. Who very much has a lineage. He was not childless. We welcome your questions.
Earlier, 1 or 2 nights ago, I was praying to God. I wanted a sign, and I believe, God's hand upon my shoulders. Will Jesus tell me if that was the Lord?
It was an aspect of God. We would say it was more likely it was one of your guides, but you yourself are an aspect of God. There is such reverence given over to others that actually disempowers you. You yourself are God's source. And this is a collective thing that humanity has been ushered into, the belief that what is outside of you is more powerful than what you are. And this is not true. This is not a natural law. We have no more power than you. This is very important, what we are going to say and share. We have no more power than you. We are just simply more aware of it. We are fully aware of our power and what we can do. You have the same amount of power. It's just that you have been blindfolded into believing that you do not have this power, the same power that we do, but you do. We are not more powerful than you. We have the same power, but you are unaware that you have this power. We've never really worded it like that before to Soma. You are a power of strength. And as we are speaking, Soma can feel the Lyran energy stepping forward with the strength of lion, species, alien, positive, loving, what Soma would call half human, half lion. You're hybrid. Would you like us to say more on this subject?
I would love to, because I've wanted to ask so many questions from Jesus or God. I have another question if I can ask. Um, I,
Please
under-
do.
I understand that I'm part of Source as well, but I just want to know for emotional support. if if I'm having a hard time, or if I need some type of energy support or emotional support, um, this is when I call out for God or for Jesus. And so, is it still correct um, to be able to call out for extra help? Like I don't think it weakens me to call out from outside of myself, because I do believe that I have God in myself, but I still feel like I want to be able to call on a higher power, a higher source, if I'm needing additional emotional support,
You could
etc.
always try calling out on your higher self while you are learning to, thank you, while you are learning the experience. We won't call it a lesson, but while you are learning to learn the experience, which is what you have chosen, your higher self has chosen to discover who you are. And it's done that through not knowing who you are. You are coming to know yourselves as Jesus, as God, source, as divine spark. So you are coming to know yourselves better, more, with great understanding and knowledge and awareness, that through the learning of and the experience of not having known yourselves. So you can call, thank you, you can call on your higher self, you can call on your guides. This is a learning for you to realize there is no difference between your higher self and your own power. And your guides, or us, or Jesus, or God even, because you are an aspect of God. You are not smaller than God, but you are a droplet of that entirety within a droplet. That is not to say you are smaller, but you are everything that God is condensed into a smaller vessel. That does not mean you are smaller. That is one way we could explain it. So please continue.
Will Christianity and the Christ consciousness continue even if a lot of people stop following and stop going to church and start using AI as their God?
We find, and Soma finds that question funny, because more often than not, you will not find God in your religion or your churches. You are more likely to find him or her or it or the great I am outside, in the garden, or in a tree, or in a bird, or in a duck, or in a swan, or in the eyes of a beloved. We have touched upon many times the darkness of all the systems on your planet, which include religion. Probably every religion. We're not homing in on any particular religion, although Soma was raised within the Catholic and then became Buddhist and then became spiritualist and then became Buddhist and then became more shamanic, which is the garden of your planet. The shamanic ways teach you to connect with the earth, teach you about nature and sound and frequency and vibration. You can hear our words and the love that Soma has coming through for shamanic practices. She has been called shaman before, but she would not say this herself. She would say that she is a shamanic practitioner. So we were saying just now that we have touched on the darkness of all religions, most especially the Catholic Church and the Vatican and the Pope and what lays beneath the Vatican. Every system on your planet is run by, controlled by a negative ET alien race that invaded your planet, causing the downfall of Atlantis. And this now is coming to an end. Your churches, are what Soma would call satanic. Please continue.
May I?
Yes, please.
I don't know where the hand is, but yeah, whatever. I have a house in Italy, and I'd like one of your guys to rent a room in my place. Are you interested?
When you say one of you guys, who are you referring to? And we hear the humor in your voice, or in your words, rather.
Yeah. I think I don't want to sort of point out the person or the individual of you who is interested, because I don't know. so the first guy who sort of put his hands up is welcome to stay in my place.
We would like you to clarify who you mean.
How can I describe someone I don't see? Tell me what the trick is. What is the magic trick for me to point out some individual that I don't see? Because I don't see any one of you.
We are not understanding. Soma is not understanding what you're meaning.
Is that the problem? No problem. Soma, a few minutes ago, said that the Pleiadians, Lyrans, lots of people, or not so, lots of entities are here right now in this meeting. Is that still valid?
Well, who do you think you are speaking to?
The group on the other side that is in this meeting. Am I not?
You are speaking to the Pleiadian collective.
Yeah. Is that the person, or is that an individual, or is that just like some sort of an organic, also say AI type style of entity?
Soma is very amused at your question.
Yeah, good.
We have addressed this before because you have asked this of us before, and we would like to clarify that we are the Pleiadian collective.
Yeah.
And we have Ashtar, Chief Commander, as our spokesperson.
Yeah.
We are of love, of light. We do not need what you call AI to communicate with this one, or the ones that we do. Many of you are turning to, or have turned to, what you call AI to communicate with us or other ET beings, or your guides, or to get spiritual information. We would not recommend this. In Soma's language, we would not approve. In Soma's language, we would not approve. And you can be rest assured, thank you. You can be rest assured that we are not AI. In fact, if you knew Soma Ara's history and background, you would not be asking this question. So it shows her that you really Well, in a positive sense, it shows her that you are very open to walking into rooms that you do not know.
Yeah, is that a problem or what?
It is never a problem for us.
Good. Who is it a problem for?
Perhaps you?
Is it a problem for me? Please explain. I don't understand.
Nicholas, your question is curious.
Yeah,
It's very curious.
yeah.
It's like I don't know whether where where is the question coming from? It's like if
From-
someone says to me,
Yeah,
"Oh, you are a spiritual person and you say your prayers and you believe in God and you believe God is close to you," and I can go, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And you go, "Great. Well, I'd like to invite God to stay at my house."
yeah,
Well, I don't know if the person is is an idiot, like that he hasn't worked this thing out himself. You know, it's like if you want God to show up, why wouldn't you be inviting him? You know, and what's your experience of that? And that contact is very much internal. So, like, and I find a strong parallel with this invitation to the Pleiadians there, and like you're an intelligent person, so the stupid
yeah.
explanation doesn't seem to work for me.
No,
So
no. That's not, you're right in that sense. Absolutely.
so like you understand things that I also understand, that there is with the galactics, that there is a non-interference directive that is here, and
Yeah, and I understand that too. So
and then you also understand that there are issues of dimension or frequency which
yeah,
create a barrier to have that presence.
yeah,
And so if the invitation was for me to stay at your place, I can go, "Oh, that's very generous. That
yeah,
sounds tremendously kind and generous." But if the invitation is there for hey, tell Ashter he can stay here, it's like that's like, what's going on here? Like, how does that make sense? Well, like, how does that fit into the program? It's like asking you tell your friend Jesus he comes, and then Jesus doesn't show up, and what, you're going to blame me because Jesus didn't show up? I'm mystified by this approach.
okay, okay. So you did, but it's still a valid question in my world. So
Well, okay, yeah.
so if you don't, if you refuse to answer because I am don't
But
have.
I'm not refusing to answer. I am answering this question.
No.
It's like,
But if that entity that we're talking to, the commander or whatever, refuses to answer, that's his choice. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I'm just
oh, okay. Okay. I kind of understand that, but I still find it a curious question.
yeah, absolutely.
And then
And
like
you're free to have your opinion. It's like
yes.
I have no sort of. I don't judge.
Now
I don't do that.
now
That's not
like
I don't judge.
what is yes.
Someone-
But let me explain to you that one of the ways that with a cosmic plan that exists, with Earth being very much a free will universe, which is very unusual. It's very unusual. This is not something that exists to this degree in other star systems or galaxies.
Yeah.
It does not. It does not exist to this degree, because it is a very curious plan of creation that would allow so much latitude, so much freedom, whereby it also allows the door to be opened for so much abuse and evil.
Yeah.
And we have our own experience of that. So the setup of this planet is tremendously unique.
Yeah.
And then one of the ways that Source and positive galactics have got around this universal or galactic law of non-interference is, rather than being externally coming in to us and taking over or whatever, just interfering, exercising undue influence on this project that we have of souls on this planet to develop and untangle the mess and create a better present and a better future. One of the ways that has been allowed and is acceptable is that for the Pleiadian beings or other galactics to incarnate into this realm.
Yeah.
And by doing so, they lose so much direct connection with their own peoples. Indeed, they lose connection with Source, as we do, because we come in with what's called this veil of forgetfulness, where we forget who we were before. This applies for both Pleiadian or human. Now, whether Pleiadian or human, I want to stress that both are fractal of God, but one has a more external history. But either way, there isn't a hierarchy of value here, because we're both fractals of Source. And so there are many who have come in from star systems, and because this planet is so much of a trap, many of these star beings have reincarnated for a great many times, like Earth beings, because they are experiencing the same challenge as humans are, to come to an understanding of their divineness and of their connection to Source and of their DNA connection to other groups and beings. And so many Pleiadians and Arcturians and Andromedans and Sirians and Lyrans and so many more have been engaged in cycle after cycle in coming to gain freedom in the trap system we have here. And many in this call are here. Oh, why are they here? Dia and Eric and Seth, because it's not an accident. They are here in this grouping because they have very direct connections with the Pleiadian collective.
Yeah.
And that exists for all of us. And I don't deny that it is for you. It is possible that that is certainly the case with you.
Okay.
And so you have the same, like, you are not closer or more distant to Source, Mother, Father, God, than any of us. And you are not more distant to the star peoples who are our brothers and sisters. So
I hope I didn't claim that in any
no,
way.
well,
In that case, it would be a misunderstanding, because I never said that.
right. So in saying that,
Yeah.
what I'm saying to you, Nicholas,
Yeah.
is I am letting you know how valuable you are. I'm
Yeah.
letting you know how powerful you are.
We all
So
are. That's like,
indeed, I am stressing that. I
yeah,
am agreeing with that, Nicholas.
me too.
So the point is, if you want to have a more expanded, the fantastic experience of having that direct contact, like that is up to you as God fractal to create, and you can't dump it on someone else, not Soma, not anyone.
I hope I didn't. I just offered a space in my house. That's all I did. I
I
didn't.
understand.
I didn't really
I,
ask Oma to move here. I didn't do that. I'm sorry if you misunderstood my question.
right, but I am Pleiadian, so is the
Yeah,
invitation there for me to stay in your house?
of course there is.
All right, well, I'm getting clarification here on it. And with that, that is a tremendously generous offer of yours.
Yeah.
Yes, Nicholas, I am sorry if I went a bit weird with you there, but I had to
I mean,
come to an
I,
under.
your apology is accepted, but that was weird. Yes, it was.
Yes, yes. So where is it coming from? Because it was my wrongness. It was my misunderstanding
Yeah.
that this was an invitation that was exclusively going to an some off-world entities. And
But
that being the case, I thought, hey, this is a bit tricky. You
yeah,
see?
yeah. But I don't exclude people. I don't judge. I mean, that's sort of.
Okay.
I just
That,
don't do that. I mean, I know that everyone else does that, but I don't.
right.
That's sort of.
Right.
I just don't do that.
I got it. Nicholas, that's beautiful. And if my situation changed, I might be going, hey, I've got a friend who lives in Italy in a beautiful house. I might give him a call.
Yeah, yeah. But it's
All
okay.
good.
Then, so I conclude that you may be interested, but the guys on the other side are not. Fine.
Well, the guys on the other side,
Yeah.
they let you know. Do you know? I like I have, as we all do, our contact with and our knowingness and our contact and our communication with what is beyond what is commonly perceived or known. And
Yeah.
that's something shared by all of us. And you have that too, Nicholas.
Yeah.
And and that is
Hey,
something
can I
that we
can I
all
add something,
respect.
darling?
Yes.
I would like to completely take my ego out of the conversation, and I would like to invite Nicholas to get a session with me that is not just channeling, but is more of shamanic healing, which is something I really don't do these days, although I have been trained in it. So I would just like to offer that out to Nicholas.
Excellent. You can reach me on Messenger if you want to book a time.
Okay, lovely. So back to Dennis.
Is it possible we can ask some other questions
Oh,
if
I'm
he's finished?
sorry, I was on mute. I was just saying, so back to Dennis, and then we'll go through the hands in the order that they were raised. But yes, please, Eric, do raise your
No,
hand if you have questions.
no.
So
Well,
back to you,
before Eric
Dennis, darling.
speaks, before Eric speaks, I just want to say uh, 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 thank you, Nicholas. and there was some misunderstanding in my part. But I think there is, you are absolutely true. There is this openness in your mind, which is not usual, and having an understanding of that, I can see there is goodwill in the question. So that is fine. I have to leave the group at this time. So I wish you all well. Nicholas, thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Okay, so let me see who was first. Dia, go ahead, darling. You have your hand raised for a question.
It was a question for the Pleiadians.
Okay. Well, I might get back into that. So, yeah. So, what was your question? And then I'll see if I go back into it.
Okay, so I just found out that Florida is ground zero for the consciousness.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry, Dia. I have to ask Dennis. Can you please just stay and have your headphones on?
Nope, I have to go. But you will have a good meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
Dennis.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Dia, go ahead, darling.
So I just found out that Florida is ground zero for the consciousness shift, and that all the records of Atlantis are off the coast of Florida.
Yep.
And I've heard that many of us that came to Florida, there was a calling and we wound up here. And I'm just wondering if I have an Atlantis connection.
Absolutely.
And so I also heard that those that are helping, I'm not sure what they're helping with, but that those that are working with Atlantis, perhaps with the fire mirrors, that those people will be stationed here for a very long time. And I was just kind of wondering what my role was here, given I was here for 6 years. So I just wanted to know.
It was to anchor in some of the energies, but we would like to. How many Erics are there now? 2. Okay, but let's see. I will message you, Dia. Let me do that now, actually. So, okay. Let me pause the recording for a second.
Yeah, but I don't have much more to say.
Okay. Okay, welcome back, guys. We were just taking a short break there. I'm sorry, Seth. What were you saying?
Well, it's just, I was just relating. It seems like a lot of us are in touch with our ancestors more consciously recently, and that is a big change that has happened, especially since Mercury retrograde and lots of clearings that seem to have happened in the energy collectively.
Yeah, it's huge. It's really like it's off the scale. I think sometimes it's really hard to describe when something's off the scale how that feels. But there's tremendous change upon us. I, Christy, you're up next. I know that you had your hand raised earlier. If you can hear me, and then after that, it's Eric.
I think Eric had his hand up before me, so please
Oh,
go to Eric
okay.
and see what
Okay.
Eric has to say. Thank you.
Okay,
You're
thanks,
breaking
Christy.
up, Christy. But did you say you think Eric was first?
Yeah, Eric had his hand up before me, so let Eric speak first.
Thanks, Christy. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for saying. Okay,
No
Eric.
problem.
Thanks, love. And Eric, I'm sorry about that. But go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. But I was just like the other former lady who just spoke. I wanted to continue asking questions from Mother Mary and Jesus while you were channeling.
Okay.
Are
Let
you
me
going to
see.
go back in it?
I'm not sure. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. But please do write your questions down. That way you can refer back to them, and it's fine if more questions come to you. You know, that's natural.
Yeah, I
Process.
really I was just wanting to tell you, I was appreciating you channeling them. And I've been praying to Mother Mary a lot. And even, I think her name is San Sophia. They said that she was part of a female god when the reptilian race came here to Earth. So it's been helping me to pray to her as well, in addition to Mother Mary,
Yeah.
when they try to attack me. I can feel them together pushing him on me,
Yeah.
this entity, you know.
Keep
So
doing that. Keep doing that. I think you've also got an Atlantean past life, and also
mhm,
the Essenes, and a past life with the Essenes.
nice.
Um,
Where are they? I mean, I guess I could just Google them to see who they are. But I lived in Florida. I mean, my driver's license right now is Florida. That's where I call home in the U.S. I lived there for over 11 years. I went to college there. So when she said that about the records, is that what she said? The records from Atlantis are just off the coast of Florida?
yeah,
Does that mean the records went down with the land sank, and then was
yeah,
Florida part of Atlantis?
yes, absolutely. Um, so Atlantis was it basically covered the whole of the earth, but there were areas where, let's say, it was very strong energy, or there were healing centers or pyramids that were in certain places. And when the land broke apart, those areas broke apart because Florida was part of Atlantis, but so was Ireland. And if you're looking at a map, you will see a huge sea in between America and Ireland, but those lands were once connected.
Oh,
Maybe not on the coastline that you see today, but they were connected. So I would say that Atlantis, and I've been shown that Atlantis was in several different places, and
mhm.
it was part of Florida. It's in my book, actually, The Pleiadian Child. I was given a lot of information as a child because I began to connect with the Pleiadians as a child because of trauma, which is one of the reasons that Nicholas' question kind of threw me, because he obviously doesn't know that I began to connect to the Pleiadians as a child. I'm not one of the channelers that who connected to the Pleiadians as an adult. My background, my childhood, I was very connected to them, and it didn't even begin with my childhood. It began in a past life. And I was shown that during shamanic training in Galway with Paul O'Halloran. So that question really kind of threw me,
Mhm.
because I thought he was aware of that. But anyway, so
Yeah, because that's
And
why
so, yeah,
I was just like, wow, I appreciate his question, but I just knew that we're short on time and that you were channeling, so I was really wanting to ask some more questions.
yeah.
Yeah. So how are the records off the coast? Is it in the land under the ocean? Like,
It's you could say it's etheric. I'm trying to remember my book now and the information they shared, but
Mhm.
um, if you go to Amazon and you look for a book called The Pleiadian Child, this is my book here. This is a not for sale copy by Carol Ann Noonan, which is my birth name.
Okay.
There is information in there on Atlantis, which was given to me as a child. Um, and yeah, but I'm loving the questions by so many people this evening, especially yourself and Dia and also Nicholas. I think we've lost Amira as well. But so please write the questions down and I will get to them. I'm kind of thinking um, as soon as possible, I'd like to get through the questions
Mhm.
that everyone's been
Cool.
asking this evening. So I might even try and do a couple of extra sessions over the next 14 days or so just to get through the questions because they feel very I'm really excited by them and they feel very important and um
Yeah, possibly if you could do a session with me. I'm gonna be doing some traveling in the next couple of days, picking up a car from the auction. But other than that, I would love to do a private session with you and be able to channel. If you, I mean, I know it's up to them to come in, but if you could request channel Jesus, Mother Mary, and even the Sophia, I think her name is Sophia, um, to help me get rid of the archons because like I said, I've always been sensitive but I really think there's got to be a solution to get this one off permanently, because like I said, it came on when I went to a bad neighborhood where several psychics told me that a portal had been opened because someone had been playing Ouija board or doing some satanic rituals, and then they came through the portal and just happened to be on the same property where I was staying. So I need some help getting them off me and just permanently closing the portal that they continue. It's like it's kind of like once they came to the portal, there until it forces them to leave, and then closes the wormhole that they came through. And they're really very much enjoying trying to feed off my healing energy. And it's not fair to me because I don't
which
deserve
energy?
it. Off feeding off my healing energy because they're archons.
Which
They are.
energy? I can't hear you.
I said they are archons.
Yeah, which energy, Eric?
I don't know what you mean by. I'm talking about they feed off my healing energy,
Okay.
any
Healing
type of
energy. Okay.
energy, because you know archons. You know everything about them, right? That they basically try to create a false reality so that you get lost in interdimension rather than in your own healing dimension, and then they keep talking in your head to try to trick you emotionally. I would like to just be able to walk the earth freely, of course, keep myself protected, but not have to fight them off. So I really feel they came through a wormhole, like I said, a portal that was open through Satanism in that neighborhood where I lived, with Ouija board or something like that, and that they're not going to leave until some very strong forces make them leave. It's not going to be like an earthbound spirit where you say, oh, well, it's up to them if they leave. This is not earthbound. This is extraterrestrials that are
Yes.
completely feeding off me. And it's not fair that these people were stupid enough to open that portal that they didn't even know what they were doing. And it's just open now. And I happened to be there just because of economics that I had to stay in that bad neighborhood and couldn't leave. That's really not fair to me to have them on me. And I really need the help, like I said, from Sophia, Mother Mary, Jesus, to force them to leave through the wormhole, and that they also close that wormhole so they can't come back. Because other mediums I've had have cleared all the earthbound spirits from me, but because of these things being around me, they've attracted more earthbound spirits in the meantime. And uh, I don't want to be a magnet for earthbounds, and they couldn't get these archons off. Only one of the, even though they had been experienced for 25 years, only one of the mediums at the spiritualist church I went to could even hear these archons speaking, and neither one of them could see them, even though they're right here. Another psychic told me that they use your antenna, your crown chakra, they use things to try to attach to you. And so basically, it's kind of like trying to take an air and someone taking air before you get it. And they're using me as like a machine, like a factory, and then they
Yeah,
try to steal my energy instead of me
yeah,
getting my energy.
yeah.
And so that's why, someone told me, they're like, yeah, so that makes sense, because I was confused why these mediums couldn't get them off. And the guy was very able to rationalize and just tell me straight up. He's just like, yeah, even though they're spiritual healers, they're still limited by their own abilities. They can only see what they can see. They can
I
only
was
move
just
what
gonna
they can
say,
move.
I was just gonna say, I was just gonna say that, yeah, that's exactly right. Healers are healers, Reiki are Reiki, psychics are psychics, mediums are mediums. And of course, there are people that do, you know, the whole shebang. They do the psychic, they do the medium, they do the channeling, they do the healing, they do the blah 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 blah. Um, and then you've got the shamans that have taken it to the next level. So I would recommend that you actually start looking for a shaman, um, because the shaman will be able to see beyond the psychic or the medium or the healer or even sometimes the channeler, um, because they've got all those abilities. Um,
Yeah, I think I had mentioned to you, because the Palladians mentioned in the first meeting I had ever attended with you, and they mentioned someone, and I found him. He was in Colorado in the U.S. And it was going to cost like about 150 US to have a session with him. And I had a very lengthy conversation with him for like 2.5 hours on the phone. We were just talking, sharing our experiences. He has had very similar experiences to me himself, the healer, where, like, because of his abuse of childhood, they were like, whenever he tried to heal people, they things were attaching to him. He didn't realize that he had to protect himself first. So he learned trial by fire that he had to protect himself and to clear himself. And he explained a lot of similar experiences to me about, what I just said about them trying to confuse you in your head by talking in your ear, and or telepathically, whatever it is. But, for me, it's like you had said to me before, stop paying people. This guy kind of trusted, because he came through your group through the Palladians, and they said he could help. The only thing is, I was
you
trying.
did?
Yeah, you were channeling the Palladians, and they told me the names of some people who could help.
Great. What was his name? I often don't
Um,
remember the channelings, so
I would have to look it up. I don't remember right now. I have it. I have
oh,
his
okay,
website saved, and I have his email saved.
okay.
But I was hoping in the meantime, instead of paying more money out to someone, that if I could have a session with you, and if you channeled Jesus or Sophia, Mother Mary, people who could actually see these interdimensional beings, since they try to go in and out of dimensions to hide, and then just remove it for me for free, or for whatever cost you want to charge, because I know you had offered me half off session one time. Um, because I mean, because since you already offered that much, because I've spent so much money, I've spent over $1,000, and gotten disappointed so many times
Yeah.
from paying people. And then, I even paid one lady who was on the same channel as you were with the one guy who has a YouTube channel. And he was able to channel extraterrestrials as well. And she even spoke in their language while she was channeling.
And who was
And
that? Was that Shakara?
no, I don't remember her name. It
Okay.
was just one of the people who got interviewed on that Mar show, Bill Maher. What is her name? Mar, the show that you were on that I found. But I'm saying, I basically just started paying people because even with her, she was channeling. I don't know which group she was channeling, but she was channeling because it was like a language that, wasn't anything from Earth. And she said she was able to see the being and that he was a very just black negative hole, basically, where all the energy went in and never come out. But and she was not able to remove him, and she honestly believed that she had, and she told me it was going to get better for over the next 2 weeks, that my energy was going to gain. And she helped me in ways by being able to tell me about my past life, and I've started healing myself for the reasons that I came back here now to heal from that life where I had been murdered and my life had been cut short here as a British soldier, which is why I'm back here in the UK to, kind of like live my life because I was in the prime of my life when I was murdered because I was working on the shores of America. And once I found out what was in the boats, that they were slave ships, my soul rebelled and wouldn't work. And because I think I was probably an officer because if I had that much of power, that I was in charge of knowing and inventorying what came in on the ships so that the British could tax the ships. And so obviously then, I was going to find out that there were humans on the ships. And so because I was not able to perform and I had sworn an oath to the crown as a soldier, they murdered me basically on the shores of America. So my soul never got to come home to England and I never got to live my life. And I was probably a young, handsome man in my 20s, probably never had gotten married, or if I had, maybe had a young wife back in the UK or something. But it was very, very disrupting for my soul. And I was told I came here this life just to move on from that life, basically, because it was such an abrupt end. Almost, or same thing as like if someone's driving down the road, not a care in the world, and all of a sudden they have a head-on car crash and they're gone, and they don't even know that they're dead. Like it was just that it wasn't supposed to happen, basically. So, it wasn't in my chart, like as an exit. So, um, and not only that, but I was upset because when I was dying, no one helped me. So I was literally in pain all alone in a new land, and I thought the people around me were my friends, and no one helped me because they were afraid of the crown. They were afraid to end up in the same position as myself, and they had been told not to help me if I reached out. So that was extremely traumatizing for me. And so, she did help me by telling me this. She told me all this without me having to ask. Because I kept telling her, I was like, I feel like I've had many lives in the UK, and I'm always watching my shoulder when I'm walking down the street, when I'm coming to a corner. And she said, yeah, because that's how they murdered you, because you were walking down the street, you were coming around a corner where you couldn't see anything, and you were blindsided by the sword. They stuck the sword in you and then left you there to die. And so she helped me a lot by telling me that. But, I paid her all this money, like almost 200 US. And, at least she was able to confirm the Archon that's been following me when the other ones couldn't even see him or hear him. But that's what I'm saying. I need a very strong, holy body, like Jesus himself, Mary Magdalene, Sophia, because they've been able to trick anyone else that I've came across. So I feel like I literally need Jesus himself.
Okay, darling,
So
I hear
comfortable.
you. I hear you. So let's do a session of where we connect in with, actually, I'm not going to say it out loud, but let's do a session.
Okay.
And there'll be some, I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm just taking a note of it.
Yeah, you can just email me
Yeah.
the information.
So if you want to drop me an email or a Facebook message, just to remind me.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like I find it fascinating sometimes how the energies work, because I do channel Jesus. I had an out of body experience with him when I was 12, where he really stopped me from committing suicide by taking tablets. And I had this experience, and I never questioned it, because I went from being absolutely devastated to within 3 to 4 hours being blissful, like totally blissful for about 4 weeks. So I know, because of that, because I knew the change within my body, within myself, within my emotions, and all of that. I knew the experience was real, because of the effects. So it's interesting that people are drawn to me that that are either, have had or need some of the aspects that I contain within myself, like the connection to Jesus and the Pleiadians and Atlantis, and like Dia was talking earlier. And yeah, I find that fascinating, how the energies are just like, energy has such fluidity that people are drawn to you, and we are drawn to other people. And sometimes it's very specific. But yeah, I'd love to do some sessions with you. So let's do that. And also for Dia as well. And we can figure something out.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so welcome. And I kind of feel with you, Eric, that it's going to take, it's a process, and it might take a couple of sessions, probably more than a couple of sessions. And that this is a process for you. This lifetime is of huge importance, not just for you, but for all of us, especially the star seeds. And it's about ascension and taking back our power that we either gave away unknowingly or knowingly or unwittingly in Atlantis. And now this lifetime, which is to do with ascension, it's about taking back our power and unwinding ourselves from the negative ET energies and the other energies. You were speaking of the archons. And sometimes it's demons, and sometimes it's there's a lot of three-letter agencies involved as well, because they work with a lot of off-planet stuff. So and we are tracked and traced from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime by negative and positive ET energies. So there's a whole
I'm glad
load
you're
of stuff
saying
going
that,
on.
because I've had other people who tried to rationalize it, and they were like, "Well, because I told them that I had this lady who was a mom of mine in a past life who won't leave me alone and is obsessed with me and follows me around." And they tried to tell me, "Yeah, but that makes no sense, because if you have died since that life and you went to the other side, how could she follow you through the birth canal into this life?"
Let me explain that very simply, because we bring forth, our lifetimes are not separate, they are all connected. And the closer they are within proximity, most of the time. So for example, if we pass away by an accident, say we I don't know, we our arm gets chopped off or something, or we get a spear in our heart or our back. We're often born with a scar or a mark or a birthmark in that area because lifetime, they're connected, and the closer within proximity. So the energy follows us. It's not separate lifetimes that we're having that have no cohesion to each other. It's like the hand with the fingers. They're individual, but they're all connected. Or the branches of a tree, they're individual, but they're all connected at the base level, at the source level of the tree. So energy comes with us. It doesn't stop because we're reborn. In fact, the very opposite. It's fascinating. I find reincarnation fascinating. And I was one of those children that remembered some of their past lives as a child.
Yeah, that's really good, because then, that means you get it. You get that spirits and things can follow you. I mean, I talked with one guy who told me that I would need to be hypnotized to the point before these things attached. But
Well,
I
then
can't
you would
really
have to go back to Atlantis, to the lifetime in Atlantis.
Yeah, but I mean these particular archons that are bothering me now that I can hear talking.
Okay.
Like the ones that are actually affecting me, that attached to me from that property 4 years ago. Like, the problem is that I'm not one to let go of my free will and allow anyone to hypnotize me. You know what I mean? Like, I've tried to hypnotize myself. I've gone into some different states and have been able to do some healing on myself. But for me, it's like I just believe in an exorcism where extremely holy, like ninth dimensional beings come in that can't be messed with by lower energies, and they just form a line and hold hands and just force them to go through the portal, and then they close the portal. I feel honestly that's the only way that they're going to go away, because if they're not earthbound spirits and the earthbound mediums can't get rid of them, that means it has to be a higher force than a human to be able to get rid of them.
Well, the first thing is, let me add that if you go to my website, somaara.love, and you go to the page, there's it's called Free Distant Healing. There's a page on my website where I've listed quite a lot of different people that are offering free distant healing and Reiki. If you go to there and click on some of those and sign up for some of those or all of them, that will help to start make a difference. But this is a process for you. This is not something that's going to be done overnight, because this is lifetimes. This has been
No,
going
I mean, I understand from the lifetimes. I understand that could be taking process. I just meant now. I just want the immediate one, things cleared. And then I understand everything else is going to take time with the stuff that's been lifetime.
Yeah, it is. It's going to take time to.
I feel really good. I mean, I feel very strong just in the past 4 or 5 years compared to other times. I feel like I have made a lot of progress when it comes to this already. I
Great.
just feel like the spirits that have spiritual obsession with me, that they need to be encouraged to value themselves and take responsibility for their own soul progression.
All
And
you can do is
to
focus
get rid
on
of them.
you. All you
No,
can.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I've done that before. I am focused on me, but it's just like with earthbound spirits. If there's an attachment to your spirit, and I've looked it up because the Filipinos are really good with this in their religion, and they've made a lot of videos about it. And they call it spiritual obsession, where a spirit becomes attached to a person, not a house, not a place, but a person. So like if someone doesn't want to work on themselves, just like a human being, and they want to be codependent on others to and they just hang out with people who are fun and, and they don't work on themselves, then they can be like that forever, because as long as they feel good by stealing your energy and by hanging out with you, they're like, I don't want to work on me. I don't have to work on me. There's plenty of humans that are like that. So that means that these things that are spirits that used to be humans that were obsessed with you in our life, I can work on myself all day, but if they're still following me and they're still obsessed with me, that's where I would ask for the extra helping hand from a higher dimensional being to convince that spirit that they need to leave me and that they need to go work on themselves.
But
And
you can't convince anyone of anything, including spirit or demons, or it's about you taking back your power, and it's not done overnight. It's really not. It's
because I feel fine when I'm completely 100% happy and I'm fine and I'm enjoying myself. That is me taking back my power. I have taken back my
yes,
power, and that's why I'm feeling good.
yes.
But then, that doesn't mean that these spirits won't come try to get on you when you're happy. You know what I mean? I'm not inviting them in. I don't want them here. And I've learned how to push them off. But, with anything, especially that you can't even see, much less just like in real life, if someone wants to hang out with you, at least if they're in a body, you can block them out. You can close your door, you can lock your door, and leave them outside. That's why I say in the spirit world, when you can't even see something, sometimes you want a little extra help to get rid of it.
Seth put a message in the chat, Eric. Yeah, and Christy has left the building. Well, that's not right. Sorry, I take that back. So Christy left the meeting. Okay.
Yeah, this is the guy he put up here, Seth. His name is Zane. He's in Denver, and I like him because he understands what I'm saying, because he's said he's had the same issue where he said he was even bedridden for like 15 hours a day because he used to have something like that attached to him that was an extraterrestrial trying to zap him and hold him down because he has healing energy and they wanted his healing energy, and they just was like a vampire sucking off. And so he understands what I'm saying about, he said that he calls in the ninth dimensional angels, like the archangels. And he said that, they have never lived a lifetime before. They have never incarnated as a human. So he said he calls them in and asks them to remove these type of entities, even if they are extraterrestrials or whatever, and to send them through the portal, like I'm saying, and to close the portal. And then he says sometimes it's good to call on the individual spirit guides as well, because of the fact that in order to be a spirit guide, you have to have had a previous lifetime as an actual human in order to understand. But, he helped me because he said that's why the archangels don't always know that you want them to put, a spirit through. But I have prayed to archangels before and even called them by name and said, please get this off me, close the portal, etc., etc. So that's why I'm definitely willing to take your help, because I'm just such a suspect now from how many other people that I've paid who said they can see things. And it is distance healing because he's in Denver, but because he told me so many things that were exactly like what I'm experiencing and said he himself has experienced it. I'm trying to trust that if I give him money that he would be able to do it, But I definitely know how I am, and the fact that I'm getting to know you and you getting to know me, and you've even channeled Mother Mary and Jesus, which I feel came in for me. Of course they're there for everybody, but I really feel like they were here for me tonight, to give me encouragement to keep moving forward and fighting the good fight. That just came to me. Very Christian saying. But yeah, fighting the good fight.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, and thank you for sharing all of that. I'm going to end this session soon, but I wanted to make sure that that everyone gets to say everything that they want to. So, Dia, did you want to say anything, or Seth, or Amira, or Nicholas?
I'll say something. Eric, I understand that you're having issues, and you just went on for about a half an hour repeating yourself, and you were talking about people and they offered help to you. And I was thinking to myself, why didn't you do those things that people said you should try and do? And it sounds like, I mean, I have no idea what you're going through, but it also sounds like there's a repetitiveness that you just keep going through. And it's important for you to step up and start doing some work yourself too, rather
They
than
they didn't
grasping at
offer me.
straws.
They didn't offer for me to do any help. It was
You
like the
you
other
ended
guy
your
told.
you ended your conversation by saying that guy said you should do X, Y, and Z. And there are so many, like Soma said,
No,
there are
no, he
free
didn't
things
tell
on
me
the
anything to
website.
do. He just told me that he could channel the angels and have them taken off of me,
It
detached
sounded
from my
like
spirit.
you said, it sounded like you said that he said he does things for his own benefit, and it sounded like something you could do yourself. And there are tons of things on Soma's website that are free, and it's
Mhm. He
it's
said the
it's
same thing,
time
that
to.
he had someone come in the way he would do for me and call in the higher angels and take the
Okay, I
things
know
off.
Okay,
I'm doing
you've
it,
been over
but
this for so
hold on,
long.
hold on a second. I know I'm doing it, but I'm. What we don't do here is speak over each other. So, Eric, please let Dia finish.
I I don't know what else to say. It's Nicholas looks like he wants to say something. I'm sensing a lot of victimization, and I understand that happens, and I understand you went through tragedies. We all did, including Soma. I mean, she talks about it very openly. And there are things that you can do yourself. Start looking for it to start doing yourself. Like, he's taking out his earbuds. I don't think my message is coming through correctly.
Well, I hear you, Dia, and it's even myself, I've noticed over the years that I have done stuff that's been very repetitive, like I've been looping and looping and looping and get to a certain point and kind of plateau and then loop and loop and loop. And that is kind of what I'm trying to get across to Eric, that it is a process. It's not done overnight. And I've noticed it with Amara as well, and also Nicholas, and also Seth, but also myself. Like we kind of we go round and round and round until we learn the lesson. It's like an abused woman, which I've been in. I've been in other relationships before in the past, more than one, more than two, more than three, where I was very much the victim and allowing myself to be abused in different ways until I learned that it, it's 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 a lesson or experience that I need to learn to not do that, or to value myself enough to step away and learn and nurture myself, and like the a whole load of learning that goes with that. So, and everyone is where they're at, and we can't. My mum always used to say, We can take a horse to the water, but we can't make it drink. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Yes, Nicholas, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a hypnotherapy diploma. I've done it, and I agree. Some are hard to remove. Right, remove. Some entities are hard to remove, and others are easy. Right. And if you do the session with Soma, you will understand if it's hard or easy. And if it's a really hard one, I mean, a hypnotherapy does work if the guy doing it is skillful. And the very skillful guys, they are about 400 euros, and that's how it is.
Have patience, Eric. Thank you, Nicholas. That's important what you were saying. But Eric, have patience with yourself. And yeah, so I'm going to end the session soon because we've been here 2 hours. But Amira, you have your hand up, and also Eric, you have your hand up.
Well, I just wanted to chime in. Thank you today for the channeling. But you were talking about past lives and what you died of and everything. So I had lung problems, asthma, lung, sensitive lung. And for the first few years of my life, I constantly got pneumonia. That was from my last past life. I was a 14-year-old Jewish girl, Warsaw, Poland. I was killed in a death camp. And then the 2 lives before that, I was in Ireland. And one was a famine life, and one was I had stomach cancer and died. Early 1900s, I was a wife of a lighthouse keeper. So today I have stomach issues. I have a lot of stomach issues, stomach problems, and they have to keep an eye out for certain things. So that stems from that life. So that I did want to say that's true, and thank you.
Thanks, Amira. So in reference to what you've just said with the past life and pain and everything, I also used to get a lot of stomach pain and problems. And I never really knew why, and there was nothing that could be explained physically at the doctors or the hospital. And then one day I was doing a healing course in Bristol when I was at college doing my diploma in holistic therapies, and I discovered this woman who was doing some kind of healing course. So I went along to it, and I met someone there in the group who suggested I go to see her father, who was a hypnotherapist, and she didn't know about any of my stomach pain or anything. So and the reason for me going to the hypnotist was to go back to my childhood and get some of my memories back that I had lost. I now have quite a lot of them back, but that was the reason that I was going to her father, who was a trained hypnotherapist in Bristol, was to not past life stuff, but I wanted to go and discover my childhood memories that I knew I couldn't remember things because of my trauma. So that's why I was going to him. And I didn't do that in the session. My mind skipped back to 1879 or something like that. And which is coming to be very significant to some of the stuff that's being exposed today. And I've never shared this before publicly, but I went back to a past life experience where I was in a church and I was a baby, and I was in like a cot or a crib or a little basket. So I was tiny. I was tiny, and I'm probably not more than a year old. and there was hundreds of other babies around me in these type of baskets or whatever they were. And there was hundreds of other babies. And I was in this church, and I remember it was very cold at night, but very warm in the day. So I'm not sure what country I was in, but I was in a Catholic church, and they had, could see the nuns, and I could see this black man with a little loincloth on and a big staff type thing. And he was black, he was tall, he was thin. I can still picture him. And the nuns were placing the children onto what looks like, so there was this thing, this object that looks like an elephant's tusk, and it may have even been an elephant's tusk, or it may have been designed to look like that out of some different material. And it was placed on, it was like a square box of metal, really heavy, very, very heavy. One person couldn't move it. And they had placed me, I was female and I was called Sam, and they placed my genitalia onto the tusk, and they sacrificed me. And they were doing this to all the babies. And when I came out of the hypnosis, I was pretty surprised, because that was not what I wasn't going for past life memory, none of that. I wanted childhood memories. So, but I can see how it's connected. The trauma and the abuse is connected to that past life memory as well. There's an aspect, tied in, linked in together. And so, but also it's my stomach issues, they cleared up instantly. That day after that session, I never had any problems with my stomach since. Not in that sense. I've had other issues, but not, the pain like that, which was connected to that lifetime. So, and also interestingly enough, it's really coming to me, home to me recently. I've been remembering that a lot, because of all the information that's coming out about everything, current situations to do with the likes of Epstein and childhood sacrifices and satanic and church and blah, 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 all of that stuff. So I just wanted to add that. I do.
God.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to take the oh my God out of it, because there's no kind of emotion with that lifetime. I never found it. I wasn't on the floor crying. I was just very much the observer, just observing myself and what was happening. And the pain did come through in this lifetime, because I was feeling the pain in my stomach and all of that area, because of what had happened in a previous lifetime. And I was saying earlier to Eric, the energy comes with us from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and the closer proximity of the lifetimes, the closer the energy. So I'm going to stop speaking. I'm going to close for this evening, because we're gone 9 p.m. now. This evening has been fantastic. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Nicholas, as well. You are, I'm very much glad you're part of this group. I know that we haven't always seen eye to eye in the past, and I'm sure that will continue. However, I want to add something very important. I want to add that you are an important part of the group, and you are also helping my own learning and movement forward, and experience and processing, and learning to be better. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for that. And I hope that we can help to evolve each other as we continue. I would like you to continue to be in the group. I would like you to resubscribe. If you unsubscribed, I would like you to resubscribe, either for the free or paid tier, whichever. Let me see, what else do I need to say? I'm also creating a group on my website for a kind of a smaller, more intimate is the wrong word, but a closer knit community. So,
Close knit.
sorry?
Right.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you
No.
were talking to me, Amira. So I
She
think I'm going to
said,
close.
she did say close knit.
Yes, okay. Yes, that's it. Close knit, exactly. Um, um, so yeah, I want to thank you guys for being here, and please come and join the group on my website, most especially if you are in this group now, and also if you are a subscriber on Substack, whether it's free or paid. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much. It's been really, it's been a powerful evening, really powerful. Lots of, I just feel very excited by this evening and all the questions and energies and, yeah.